What could be done to improve public input and transportation decision making?
I think maybe if they put like a suggestion box on the bus next to where the bus books are, so everyone can have access to it and put their comments and complaints and all that stuff in there so that the bus driver can actually know and read it.
They should have more announcements on the bus, like made, like said and advertise across the screen instead of just hanging up posters and making the words go across the screen. When they should aware more people about the community meetings they have, so that they can come show their voice, and I just think more people will pay attention if they actually say it and show it on the bus.
I feel like providing all youth that are under an eligible income level with a free bus pass year round is a pretty good idea, because that's how they do it down in San Francisco with their bus system.
I agree with Tyree they should make bus passes, because there's some people that can't even afford just the 75 cents and have to walk. Sometimes like the weather when it's rainy or cold, to walk in that.
I also think that Pierce Transit should make a bigger effort to incorporate the youth within our community.
How was your experience on this project?
It was pretty good. It was a lot better than I thought it would be.
I had a really good time, and it was just a good experience because I learned a lot of things and I got to be heard, and I liked it.
Great experience, something new. Especially the fact that I knew that I was gonna at least make a difference in my community about bus transportation. I think I would do this again, that opportunity.
For me, being a returner, I liked the aspect of working with all of you guys, because last year I did it alone. So being able to attack the community not by myself but with a group, it felt good because it felt that our voices were being heard more. So I would say that my experience felt more impactful this time.
My experience was very nice because it was like peers that I know and peers that I don't mind actually conversing with, also joining in and input about things that I think about the bus and things that they think about the bus. Just getting to know everybody's thoughts and 2 cents and everything, feeling like at one point that I was the only one that felt a certain way about the bus systems, but finding out all you guys agree with me about it.
What did you learn from this process?
I learned that they're not making any more additional bus cuts until 2015, so our buses are just going to stay how they are.
By being in this group and saying what we need to say to ask our questions, it brought up questions that we didn't know. So I learned that we have to actually study this stuff, and then I think we did a good job at figuring out what we wanted to ask and what's needed in our bus systems.
I learned that they actually do like to listen to what we have to say, and I learned that they have a lot of public meetings where you can come and speak out. So it was something that I just found out from doing this project.
I learned about how all the people on the board that we visited at the Pierce Transit headquarters, how much all the people, how they heard us, and afterwards they told us things that we need to consider and views that we need to consider and think about and bring it back, not just go one time, but make sure that we think about everybody's message, not just our own.
Can you talk about some of those things that you learned at the Pierce Transit Advisory meeting?
Yeah, I learned that they actually do care about what we have to say, just not enough people come forward and actually say stuff, so they don't really know what and what not to do. So maybe if we like the suggestion box, if everyone actually uses it one time, puts their input in it, the buses will probably change.
When they were talking about the different prices for fare, they mentioned about how they can only raise it so much without losing customers, and that was interesting to us because I feel like we think about just raise it maybe a quarter so we can get more routes, but to them they say they are thinking about the people who can't afford that, and I thought that was very interesting to hear about.
What would you like to tell the transportation policymakers? What's your advice moving forward?
maybe when they switch the bus schedules in 2015, they should consider making the weekend schedules start later so that way they can run a couple hours later instead of starting at like 9 o'clock in the morning. They start like 11 so they can run until like 6 or 7 and people can actually get to and from where they need to go.
I really agree with you. They mentioned that some people have to go to work early in the morning, but then I was thinking like, well, if they're going to work, shouldn't they be getting money towards a vehicle to drive in? And I think it's just more important for them to run longer than to start earlier. But I also think that they should really advertise more about their public meetings, and they should hear more from the youth before they make their decisions. And not only from the youth, from other people too.
I think they should make a meeting, just for kids 18 and under, and like see what they have to say.
I think definitely trying to get more voices heard, whether it be surveys or just how somebody said, putting messages on the bus, letting them know when they're gonna have events, just letting as many people know what's going on.
Is there anything you want to share about our youth forum that we had? Because we had all youth participating, and that was 18 and under. How did that go, and what did you learn from that experience? And what do you think we taught the other kids who attended?
The forum went pretty well. We just learned that majority, like 90% of the kids that did show up, like the Pierce Transit is their only transportation to and from school. So if they were to make bus cuts, a lot of kids probably wouldn't go to school or wouldn't have a way to get to school, so wouldn't even try to get to school.
They have the same problem as we do, and that's why we need to be heard, because we're not the only ones.
I think that the kids that attended also realized that there are actual forums that they can go to. By going to ours, they probably didn't realize that there was other things that they could do to get involved with the community. So starting with ours would make them branch out to bigger and better ones.
People do have a lot of stuff to say. It's just that they don't really know where to go to say it to and how they should say it or approach themselves.
When we had our youth forum, we came up with the motto. What was that motto?
Show up, speak out, be heard.
Growing Transit Communities Youth Project.